Hi, my name's David. I'm the plant manager here at our site at Springwater, Saskatchewan. So behind me you can see all the bins where we store our individual ingredients. This site can store close to about 6,500 to 7,000 metric tons. So what we've got going on, we've got a bin for pretty much every one of our ingredients. It all comes in by truck, a train, or mini ball bag. It goes up that big 120-foot bucket elevator. We can unload at a rate of 150 metric ton per hour. And then from there it makes its way into our blending room, which we'll see here in a few minutes. Okay, so we're sitting here in the main control room. So this is the blending software that was specifically designed for ViviGro custom blending software. Basically how this works, we can punch in our recipes in here and the software will automatically run these metering augers here on the bottom, and it'll meter out whatever it needs to fulfill the recipe. Everything can be controlled for the computer. All the sensors and all the motors, everything gets controlled from the control panel, but it all gets its commands from this computer here. So it's a pretty unique system. This software, basically we have three functions that it can do. So on this screen here we run the receiving software. So as we speak right now, we're unloading a truck of 1152, and as you can see, it's going up the bucket elevator, down the distributor, into big number 17. And then on the other screen here we have the blending software. So this is the screen where that controls all the blending software. We can punch the recipes in, you hit batch start, and then away it goes, and it'll automatically blend the truck. 44-ton load, it'll blend all by itself, and it'll go up the bucket elevator and end up in the loadout bins. This is our loadout software. So outside we have two loadout bins. They're 50-ton capacity, legal for trade bins. And once the truck comes under here, I hit start and it'll automatically dump whatever tonnage we set in the software. So if the trucker wants to load 44 ton and he wants 11 ton in each hopper, it'll automatically open and close the gate. So now we're standing in our main electrical room. Every electrical motor and every sensor that the plant has gets monitored and controlled by this room. This here is our main PLC cabinet. So our computer that's 300 feet away in the main office communicates with this panel here. And this gives all the commands to run all our motors. We've got close to about 300 to 400 individual sensors that are getting monitored and controlled by this panel at any time while we're in operation. So what this panel does is, the computer will send a signal to this panel here then to control our big motors. So our motors anywhere from 1.5 horsepower all the way up to our biggest one, which is 75 horsepower, gets controlled by this panel here. And then in this panel back here, we have all our gates. So we've got close to 35 gates that get controlled by this panel here. And then all these VFDs on the walls is what controls our individual metering chains on the bottom of the bins that meter out all the fertilizer on the bottom of the bins. And on this side here, this is the main service panel that brings the power in. You can see the two big wires. This is a 1000 amp panel, and when we're running at full capacity, we're pretty much right at the point of maxing out what this panel can put out, as there's a huge demand running all the electrical motors that's required to run this operation. And if we look up here, we can see all the wires, literally hundreds of wires that are running out in the field, controlling all the motors and just monitoring all the individual sensors. Okay, so we're standing here in our second warehouse here. We call this our micronutrients warehouse. So this is where we store all the micronutrients, mostly in bulk, that we put into our Smart Start fertilizer. So as we're seeing in the background right now, we're unloading a container of some high quality product that just came in from back east. So it'll be piled here on the floor, and at some point in the distant future here, we're gonna take it and we'll take it into our unloading pit, and from there it goes into our bulk blending bins. And this is what's unique about our program is all these special and high quality micronutrients that go into our blends. Okay, so now we're standing in our main unloading building here. So this is the pit here where we unload all of our granular products. We've got a 6 metric ton pit down here that's got dust collection hooked up, so there's no dust when we're unloading products. And so basically all our products, whether it comes in 44 ton Super B loads or mini bulk bags or 25 kg bags, they all get dumped into this pit. And another unique feature we have as well in this room, we've got a 25 metric ton crane up there that is solely designed to unload sea cans. Another great feature this room has here, if we bring in product that's in a 20-foot shipping container, we can actually literally use these cranes to pick the container off the truck, and then the truck drives out, then we lower the container down, and then we can dump it just like a dump truck would dump gravel. We can dump the fertilizer into the pit here. Okay, so we're standing here in our mixing room here. So this is where all the bulk fertilizer gets blended. So basically what happens here, the fertilizer gets conveyed into our 13-ton weigh hopper, and then once the product is weighed, it shoots into the mixer here. And as it's shooting into the mixer, we add our liquids, not just for dust control, but also there's a lot of good values in the liquid as far as minor micronutrients is concerned. So then once the whole product's in the mixer, we'll let it mix for a couple of minutes. And what's unique about these horizontal blenders is the tremendous amount of friction that gets created as the product is mixing there, which is what's required to absorb our liquids into the fertilizer, so it all gets absorbed. And then once it's done mixing, then it comes out of the blender, it falls through the screen, and then from here it goes out the conveyor, up the bucket elevator into the load out bins. Capacity of this system, the way it's set up, we can do basically a ton a minute, so 60 to maybe 70 metric ton an hour is what we can do here. So if you take a 44 ton load, you can get it ready in about 45 minutes. So we're standing in front of our liquid panel here in our liquid production facility. What we've got here is we've got our control panel that runs our 10 pumps. So what we can do here with this little built-in PLC, we can set our timers up so each tank will circulate for a predetermined amount of time. Generally what we do is we like to circulate at least 5 minutes every hour. And another method that we have is pneumatic circulation, which we have here in this tank of fish that's circulating right now. And aeration is a very powerful way of circulating the liquid, and it gets all the beneficial oxygen into the liquids, and it just turns that tank a lot more than any pump could ever do. So we've got this liquid system, or the air system as well, on a timer. So it'll run for 10 minutes on and then about 40 minutes off is what we've got it set up right now. So we're standing here now in our main warehouse where we have most of our products that ViviGro carries. We have stored here in this warehouse. So the basic flow is like we start with our soil amendments, and then we have our feed amendments, and then we go to some of our garden products, and then we have some of the big field products, both in granular and liquid. So this warehouse will store close to 300 metric tons. We've got everything neatly organized on shelves, so when orders come in, Our operators can simply go to this section or that section, pull whatever product they need to fill a particular order, and then we've got a staging area over there where we'll stage everything. That's where we do our quality control checks on that order, and then from there it gets loaded onto the truck.